because like by the time they get between second and third, I mean they're done, they're tired. So it's funny to see, but I mean it's a good time.
I remember one kid earlier already had a head first slide at home plate. The ball was nowhere close.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get themselves dirty and have some fun with those promotions. Well,
Definitely.
One way that you guys were able to help out that game as we go back to guaranteed win night for a second. Some great clutch hitting by Eric Grabe and Matt Skirving up in the ninth. And it seems that over these last few games where you guys really started to hit your stride, is that you guys are starting to capitalize on other teams' mistakes. Now, do you approach those situations the same as when you're trying to go out and just get hits on your own, or is it almost a different approach knowing that you guys basically got a gift, let's do something with it?
Well, I mean, you always want to take advantage of opportunities given, especially late in the game.
Sure.
Because I mean, I know like we had a stretch there where we didn't get many hits for about 5 innings. So I mean, when we had the opportunity with men on base, especially they made that error, I mean, it was a definite opportunity to capitalize. Especially we're in a pennant race right now. So I mean, every opportunity you got to take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, coaches preach, 3 outs an inning is all you can give them. You can't give them any more. So when you get the opportunity, especially like Aaron said, when we were struggling at the plate, you got to seize that, and that's when the clutch hitting's got to come into play. And lately, we've been doing a good job of it.
Can it ease you guys up a bit, knowing that the other team has allowed you guys to perhaps make a 4th out in the inning?
Yeah, I mean, it can help you out because when you think about it, if you keep the pressure on them, then they're always going to be on their heels, So if they know if they make errors and we have good hitters on our team, we're gonna make them pay for it.
All right, let's talk a little about. We'll start with you, Matt. Your individual performance so far this season. You've played all over, as we said earlier in the show. A little bit of left field, a little bit of first base, a little bit of pitcher. If Skip were to come up to you right now, pretend I was Skip. And I said, all right, Matt, I need to know where's the most comfortable position on the field for you. Which one would you probably have to say?
I'd probably say first base. Because I played that mostly in my collegiate career so far, so I'm pretty comfortable at first base. I feel like I can handle anything thrown at me out there. Left field's probably the least. I played out there the least, but I think I can handle that. And pitching is just something that I've always done since I was little, so I feel pretty comfortable with that too. But probably first base, I'd have to go with that for sure. And
then for Aaron, you've started at second base since you've been here. Has that been always the position that you've played? Were you ever at one point a shortstop? Did you always stay in the infield? What position do you really feel the most comfortable?
Oh, well, in high school I was a shortstop. And then when I got to Wright State, I played left field my freshman year because they had went to regionals the year before and had the whole infield back. But after we had some guys move on, I came back into the infield and played second. So for the last few years, I played second. That's a position I feel really comfortable.
How important is it to you guys to be able to know that you can go out and play more than one position? Because it allows versatility, but at the same time, it's almost, I don't know if I'm as comfortable in that position. Which one is it? Is it knowing that you can go out and play all over, or knowing that you have one position and that works best for you?
I think knowing that you can play different positions. I think it only helps your team when it can maybe fit a certain guy into a lineup versus a certain pitcher if I move to a different position to let someone else hit, or it also just gives you more opportunity to get in the lineup, Instead of maybe sitting, if Skip's wanting to play, another first baseman, instead of me sitting, I can play left field rather than just being one stationary position. So I think it can only help the team.
Same thing?
Yeah, versatility is definitely an important aspect. I mean, I know like getting the experience in the outfield, like if they would need me to play outfield, I can do it. I mean, I love the infield though. So I mean, that's my favorite position. But I mean, whatever the coach needs me to play, I'll play.
All right, let's talk a little about your guys' offense so far. I'm sure, Matt, you can remember, and Aaron, you've been here for about a couple of weeks now. But at the beginning of the season, the offense kind of spurted at times, had its moments, but left a lot of guys on base. Guys were getting thrown out, but it's really come around these last few weeks. And you guys have, as I said, struggled a little bit out of the gate, but things are finally becoming more consistent. Any thoughts as to maybe, Matt, and I'll start with you on this, what's changed in the offensive approach? Are you guys more comfortable running around the bases now? Are you more comfortable with the wooden bats? What do you think has ultimately changed?
I think it's just getting your timing down, and the wood bats would be the biggest thing with me. Some of the guys who were here right off the bat had a little time off. And people don't realize it, but the wood bat and the metal bat swing it's kind of a different swing. You really have to make some adjustments because you can get away with some things with the metal bat, but with the wood bat you got to be pretty right on. So I'd say definitely the wood bats is a change. Pitching. We're not used to hitting with them, and pitching's good in this league, so it just takes a little adjustment. But I think we're starting to figure it out now. I think you just got to put the ball in play and make the defense work like we've been doing, and a lot of times they'll make an error, and that's when you can jump on them.
Is it sort of the same thing with the wooden bats, being able to get used to it? And you've been here for the least amount of time from all the other guys on the team. Have you started to transition with the wooden bats?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of getting your work in. I mean, you have to get, because it's definitely an adjustment, because like Matt said, you can definitely get away, especially with metal bats, like we're not hitting the ball on the barrel and still hitting the ball hard. With wood bat, you really got to barrel it up to see some results. So I mean, it's definitely an adjustment. But I mean, guys get used to it, and I mean, I'm starting to get used to it now. But I mean, it's definitely an adjustment.
All right, a couple quick questions for you guys. If you had to sort of look at yourselves on an individual basis, I know you guys are all about the team, and that's the type of character that Skip wants on the team.
Right.
But if you had to look at yourself from an individual level and say, this is one thing I've been doing well and one thing I need to improve on, where do you think those areas are? And Aaron, I'll start with you.
So far, I mean, I say hitting. Like, I mean, I'll get better as we go along. I mean, it's been like I've been all right, like since we started, but I'll get better as the season goes along. And defense, I think I've been pretty solid since I've gotten here.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I think hitting, I can still improve on. Still got to get some kinks out of the swing, but there's always stuff you can work on. Things that I've helped the team with, I think defense, and I think I've helped in the bullpen. Some situations I've came in and got some guys out. So that's probably what it would be.
A real quick last question for you guys. You mentioned B-roll, Scurv, obviously a couple nicknames on the team. Have either of you guys gotten your nicknames yet?
Not really. I'm trying to think what guys call me.
I've heard a couple King Coles here.
Yeah, King Kole. That's it. Yeah, definitely some people call me King Kole. I'll hear people in the fans kind of, they'll be like King Kole, and I'm just like, hey, what's going on?
What about for you, Aaron?
Giraffe, or gazelle.
He's got the longest legs in the world. So if you ever seen his uniform, it looks like his upper body's this big, his legs are this big. So something like that.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you joining us. That's Matt
problem.
Kole, Aaron
Thanks,
Fields. Take a quick break. Do not go anywhere. It's Inside the Dog Pound on Time Warner Cable.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs?
Welcome, everybody. We are back on Inside the Dog Pound here on Time Warner Cable. Ben Heisler, along with a new guest here, joining me here inside the Dog Pound. His name is Tom Barbour. He is from Budget Rooter Plumbing. It's good to have you on the program. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So tell us a little bit about your business. It's a business that the SwampDogs have been in contact with over the last couple of years. Tell us a little bit about what you do over at Budget Rooter, as well as your relationship with the SwampDogs.
Okay. Well, we're a full-service plumbing and drain cleaning company. We come out with the SwampDogs, like to advertise with them, to get out into the community, to let our name be shown, and we feel that the SwampDogs is a good avenue to do that.
Now, like the SwampDogs, you guys are very community-based. Like to have sort of that name attached to your company and say, we're part of Fayetteville, and we're part of this community. And that's something that seems very important to you guys over at Budget Rooter.
Absolutely. We were raised here, I was raised here in Fayetteville, my wife in the surrounding area, and we like to keep our area, close to the community.
Tell us a little bit about being born and raised in Fayetteville, and then ultimately being able to stay here and keep a business here and really sort of make a mark on this community.
Well, I was raised in Grays Creek,
okay, and
grew up in doing plumbing work in Fayetteville for numerous companies,
okay,
and decided that what I would like to do was continue doing that for Fayetteville, but to do it as our own business. And we've, are able to provide a good service and stay in the community to do that.
Now, a lot of times people will go to a plumbing contractor and they'll go to a community or a company that's very large. They don't have really a whole lot of reputable service. And you guys certainly pride yourself on the fact that you are a local company that people can call and you know your customers by name.
Absolutely. And we will always take care of our customers. That's the number one goal.
All right, well, where can we find you? Maybe a little bit of location, phone number. What's the best way for people watching the show if they need plumbing work? Where do they go and who do they call?
Well, we're located at 354 Wilkes Road, and that's right by the Crown Coliseum. And they can contact us at 910-960-CLOG, and that's 2564. That's 910-960-2564.
Now, you said that you've been doing plumbing work for a while, since you were younger.
Right.
I've certainly been a person that hasn't really ever figured out his way around plumbing and trying to figure out a faucet. If it's leaky, I'm struggling all over the place. Is this just something that, as a kid, you just got used to and figured out and just adapted to you very quickly?
Well, my dad was a plumber.
Okay.
So, he taught me from a young age, get out, dig the ditch, and, teach from that level. And I've been doing plumbing work for 22 years. So, it's definitely something that I was raised to do.
Do you remember the first article or the first thing in the house that you had to fix?
Well, I know the first thing I broke actually was a lavatory faucet.
Okay.
And I scrambled to, figure out how to fix it. And of course, my dad come in there to show me the right way, and that's pretty much where we started.